Trump obviously believes that he's immune from charges of trying to overthrow the 2020 election. Do you think, and I mean, this is probably a difficult question, but has his lawyer made a sort of compelling argument to this end? And how can he possibly believe that he is immune from these charges because he was a sitting president at the time?
President Trump is the only former president or anybody in this case who has ever tested the United States. This is the system that has been around for over 200 years, and no former president or sitting president has ever tested the system. So the reason he's arguing that he has absolute immunity, there is a lot of gray area. There is ambiguity when it comes to the law that governs this country. As the president, you have leverage over so many things. He could be right that he has immunity, but that's not for us to judge. I will let the courts do that. But when you think about it, what does that say about the American system? The American system prides itself as a country based on the rule of law. So if he's allowed to get away with that, what will happen going forward? Could this be opening up a Pandora's box? So a lot of people are looking at it from two different angles. But if you ask Republicans, of course, they would say this is President Trump is being prosecuted. And if you ask Democrats, they say the law has to take its course. So until all that happens, until the Supreme Court really settles this matter, it's not going to go away.
His legal team making that exact argument that this is a precedent-setting case, if indeed the Supreme Court does find against him. But I mean, those on the other side will say, yes, absolutely, it is a precedent-setting case, and not in the negative way that Trump is trying to convince the court.
Trump has used this to his advantage. He's a very skilled person, an astute politician as well. That's why he's able to stay on top of everything, on top of the headlines, trying to pitch his narrative. But on the other hand, when you look at the system, you look at, for example, Jack Smith, who brought up these charges against him, they argue that nobody, whether you're president or not, is above the law. And if they follow that to the letter, then Trump is not above the law. But then what we have a conservative, we have a justice system here that the Supreme Court is led by 9 judges. 6 of those judges are conservative judges. 3 of those judges were appointed by President Trump. So there's some kind of a royalty there. But if they followed the law, I think they will have to either dismiss the case or send it back to the lower courts, or ultimately declare that nobody in this country has immunity regardless of what position you hold.
Equal before the law. Paul Ndiho is our Voice of America correspondent joining us live there from Washington.